Hey, 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 this message is going to be for my winner. I hope that she is on and found me. Now, if you wound up landing on this, and it wouldn't be uncommon if it resonated with you too, because you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. These are collective readings. Yay, I'm glad that you're on. I'm glad that it worked. Okay, I don't know why I did send a link the other day, but doesn't matter. Again, everything's in divine order. And you know what I felt, Anne, right away? I said, oh, this happened for a reason. And the reason is like, oh, I really am looking forward to this. I really want this to happen. And it's like, I really want this. And then it never happens. That was the energy. So these are shadow readings. So that already tells me that there's shadows, and I'm feeling it's due to relationships. That's the energy that's behind the underlining energy to your reading. So you're allowed to ask me questions, but I always like to channel because, again, the readings are spiritual. And because your healing is all about, it's very personal, first of all, and it's all about integration. I don't know. Are you on? Does it look like you're on? The commercial on? I don't know. I can never tell. All right. So I'm just going to start pulling. All right. So, okay. Now it looks like you're back on. Clear family karma. So that's where spirit wants us to look. And so you may say, I feel like, again, relationships always tend to be the issue. And that's what Spirit's saying. Well, that comes from, again, your upbringing, and it comes, so you've inherited things, but it's also how you've been conditioned. So you may be like, well, is it ever going to work out? And of course, if you can imagine it, you can create it. The problem is, it's like you can't see yourself in, like, you can't see yourself in that type of relationship. I mean, you can see it, you want it, but there's also a detachment from it. So really, that's what Spirit's saying. Now, let me know, again, are you resonating with what I say? I always have to make sure that I'm tapping into the right energy. Okay. And this it being that you're, hopefully here. Oh, good. So you're on. Are you resonating is what I'm saying with what I was saying. Is that what you want to look at? Because that's what Spirit is saying. Relationships and due to, like, past family karma. Is that what you want to look at? Because then, well, that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know. Is there like a detachment? Is there, like, again, there's a delay? I'm asking you. All right. Probably commercial. It's all I could think. Okay. So laughter. So again, there's a sense of wanting to know, will you ever be in that type of relationship? Can you have that type of relationship? There's a sense of blocks where all I feel like you feel like that you see is work. Well, that's the thing. It's like, but it's not even that about the whether the person is too young or whether they're not. There's a sense of, I feel like it's better than nothing, but there's a sense of, I don't see myself being able to have what I want. It's like, and the reason why is because of the family karma. And so you say, what the fuck does that mean? And so again, I feel like you have, but you've cleared your mind, but you haven't, again, actually integrated the spiritual lesson. That's why you're still in this place. And that's when you get to see yourself differently with the actual situation that you want. And so there's a part of you that's like, again, I don't really see it because, listen, I work and I, like, there's a lot of hours in the day, but You're not getting other passions in life. And the laughter tells me that it's fun. It's meaning that, like, you grew up in an environment where it's not that you didn't have fun, but you didn't really find yourself 100%. What it meant was you focused a lot on like school and creating a life for that you were going to be financially stable, one that you were going to be able to take care of yourself. And that was because it was very influenced on you, which is not a mistake. What it's just saying is when we grow up in that environment, we're not actually also finding ourselves, finding the other passions in life. So part of you is like, I don't see myself being able to have the type of relationship that I want. So yes, I like this guy. It's not that I don't like him, but he's obviously too young, too immature, and I already know he's not going to be able to give me what I want. It's just a placeholder per se. Oh, you're welcome. Listen, that's what these readings are all about. It's understanding. It's again block. And so where really spirit's saying is like you would wind up being too codependent, meaning giving too much, which is, again, you're an empath, you're a highly sensitive person. It's not a bad thing. It's just when you don't have anything other passions, it would be, you wouldn't get what you needed back. And that tends to be the story. At least here in this situation, you're like, I'm getting my needs met. Like, and that's good enough for me right now because it's at least more than I tend to get. What I tend to get is where I put in a lot. It's because I'm an emotional person. And so, right, and that's what spirit's saying, which is what your block is. You're like, I don't want to get into a relationship where it's like I'm doing everything and I don't get anything in return. I could be happier by myself. And so there's a sense where spirit's saying, so you've made this decision that it's either this way or this way. And spirit says, you're an empath. You always have to find your balance, and it's not one or the other. And that's, we have to look at what the block is. And when I see laughter, it's like your individuality. When Anne looks in the mirror, who she perceives that she is. And it's like, I know I'm those good things. And spirit says, but you got to ground that. It's like, because again, the block is that joining things, being involved in things where, again, friendships, relationships, trust happens over time. It's a second chakra thing. And that only comes from doing things. And I don't know why I felt this way, so please don't like hit me, but I feel like dancing. Like spirit says, like getting grounded, doing something again that helps you connect to your body. You're very logical and analytical and tend to overthink in these situations. And so it's about having fun, allowing yourself to like just be comfortable in your body. That's that energy. So you'll always pull people to you that are really tend to be like all about your body and about that, where you're like, well, now I'm like not really connecting with them with my mind. And spirit says, well, you get what you need. And it's because you're not doing that for you. So it's like, however, it's still gonna leave that left. This person I worked with for 3 years, he's married and moved away 6 years later out of the blue, said he chose the wrong person and he wishes. Well, it's so funny because it's like, I feel like that person, again, doesn't really know what they want 100%. It's like, and why I say is because relationships is something that happened over time. Emotional connection is when you're there on a day-to-day level and both parties are giving emotionally. And so this person ran into a relationship with a passion and it was different. And what they see is, yeah, now they still have an emotional connection to you, but they were too afraid to have that emotional connection to begin with. And so, because they didn't give it the time, so now they're in a relationship with someone else, but they're physically there, but emotionally and psychologically they're not with that person. So that's escapism, and that's because that person doesn't like, they tend to feel smothered in relationships. They tend to just not, and it has everything to do with themselves. But whoever winds up with them is pretty much, you're saying, I'm not deserving of anything because this person, like, it's again, can't give to me because they're emotionally unavailable. And that's the trauma that you keep on kind of inheriting. I am many things, but what you say also correct. I am, oh, I don't think that you're vain. I don't think that you're vain at all. If anything, I think that you're the opposite and can tend to attract people that are vain. And it's like, because again, that connection to the physical body tends to be more of the ego. And it's like, and that's not what I feel with you. When I work with him day to day, he said he always felt great. He felt safe with you because you're more of a spiritual, nurturing person, caring person, empathetic person. So again, that's why he does feel safe. And down the way, well, I feel like it's again that he serves a purpose from a spiritual perspective. I just feel with you, you're like, well, I kind of like, I want more. And so listen, it doesn't, age doesn't really even matter. It's like, and I say that, but maturity matters. Emotional connection matters. And I feel like for you, it's like this person does care. It's not like they don't care. And I feel like if you would join things, be interactive in other things, got other passions, other joys in life, not other men, but other joys, it's like that this person would rise up, would give you what you wanted, and then you'd be able to make a decision whether or not you wanted that. It's like, but part of you is like, no, it will never work because of their situation. But understand, there's this person's dead situation. So it's again, they're not getting anything. Love makes us change. People again change when they do love and when they can actually see again the opportunity. Sometimes they have to, like the past person. Right. So I feel that that is why I that is why what I can't see if the heart is in the way. That is why I feel very much so. And yeah, and that's why I'm saying there is. And but that's what these spiritual relationships are about. The spiritual relationships are about making us change, creating awareness. Like for you, this relationship is a lot more than that. It's the fact that, you know, if you look for a person to just be that passion, just be your happiness, you're always going to come up short because nobody's perfect. And what its spirit is saying is this has nothing to do with that person that you choose. It's like, because they wouldn't be in your life. There wouldn't be that connection. If you have judgments, you're looking for a judgment of why it won't work. But that's because of fear. And that would be really the block that's unconscious. It's like, oh, I'm not really doing that, but spirit says you are. But it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with you. They're a magnet of whom what comes. And you're like, well, them not stepping up, and spirit says, well, you're not. I am great alone. I want a healthy person. Well, I think that that's the thing. The way that you go out, interact in life through your passions is how you meet somebody that is also investing in themselves. If they're investing in themselves, they would invest in you. So, like I said, I don't really believe that the person that you're connected to deliberately plays games all the time. I just feel like sometimes a relationship gets a little stagnant, but it would if that's the only thing on that gives you happiness and joy and work and home and this person. And so everyone comes into the relationship a little like, again, broken. My point whole thing, Anne, is you have feelings for this person. So it's not all or nothing. And if it's going to end, it needs to end organically where you wouldn't feel bad about it because there are feelings there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be like trying to figure things out. And so, but Spirit is saying it's like this has more to do with you needing to invest in your other areas of life. Otherwise, whoever you wind up in a relationship with, it's going to deplete you because you would give too much because that's the type of person that you are. So there's a sense of not feeling 100% safe. So, and it's not that you haven't done the work, Spirit's saying, but the action, the actual living it and integrating it needs to happen. That's why we're in physical form. Like we need to learn. We're here to learn and to manifest, and the manifesting through unconditional love. I always tell myself when I retire, then I will have to do fun things. No, that you can't do. This is no, because it'll never happen. It'll never happen, and you won't attract a person that is able to do that either. It's that you need balance now. Now that doesn't mean you're gonna go off to Hawaii and you're gonna do. It's like you're like, well, my idea of like passion is like Spirit saying, well, come on, you have to find the small joys and happinesses in life. You have to find a way to connect to other people through the heart chakra, through commonality. Right. Like you can't do that. It's like you want to train people because God says also, so, and do you really think that you're the only person that trains your person? God says, no, I help you train that person because if you were joining things and you got into a fight with somebody that you're dating and you're always around, then there's a sense that they don't really need to change because, hey, well, where are you going? Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. You're not going to leave me. However, if you've invested in yourself with other passions and fun, so you're cutting off your psychic energy, right? So that person can't feel you. So obviously your mind's on something else aside from them, which needs to be important, especially if it's a soulmate, twin flame, past life karmic connection, needs to be. And then it's also a way that if the person isn't changing when they, come back around, because they will come back around because unconditional love makes us do that, surrender. When you were walking out of tango lessons, you walked out with Carlos on your arm and they were like, who the fuck is this person? They didn't know that Carlos was gay, but they saw you laughing and having a good time and this and that. And well, all they know is that your attention was not on them. And what you're saying without saying it is, I have other things in my life that bring me joy. So either you step it up or get the fuck out. It's like because I know my worth. And this is really what it's about. This is how we clear family karma because it's not about the fact that your parents didn't love. They did love. It's the fact that they grew up in an environment where they were taught again that they were inadequate. And so, and that goes back to what was going on collectively. It doesn't even all the time mean what it's what they were going through. So we really cut it when we say I know how to live through my passion for life. And so you're saying if you love your job, but that's not it, but it's also tiresome. How else you need to pull in energy? Otherwise, you're going to expect it. And it's always going to come up short. And you're going to say, I can't have it. And Spirit says, you can have it. There's a piece of pie that's missing from your pie. And that's why, and that piece of pie is important. It allows you to be able to go with the flow of life. And you got to be able to go with the flow in relationships. Otherwise, you're going to control the relationship. And it's not because of anything. It's just you're a healer type person. You're like a fixer and a giver and a doer and a wanter and a lover and like that person. So that's why when we connected, it was with me. That's what I'm saying. And that's because that's who you are. But then you're teaching that person and every person that you know your worth, but people don't know your worth because they don't know their own worth. So when you overgive, it becomes expected, and then you don't get enough, is what Spirit is saying. So it's not a fact that your mind doesn't know, your mind knows, but how the relationship plays out, it's like unconsciously, that's a psychological reversal. That's where you, again, you're like, it's like, this is how it plays out. And it's like, that's because you're getting in your own way. And that's because these things need to be integrated, because you're not going to say yes or no with a person, yes, I want to be with you, or no, because when you really care about a person, you don't have control over it. So it's more about you doing for yourself and seeing again what actually plays out. Where if somebody else is supposed to step into that person's place, well, they're obviously going to fight their way to be in there. They're going to show you that. That's is what would make you really be able to release the person that you're with at this point. Not you saying, well, I'm not going to do it. It's like, might not do it, but then there'll be again that leftover energy is what I'm saying. It should happen organically. Strangely, I use my memory to remember when I was a child to used to have fun. Right. And that's the thing. It's like, but I also feel like you're not the same person. And so it's again, and I think that that's what it is. When we say again, you need to embody that passion, fun, laughter is that it's the joy of life. And so, and that when you become that energy, you attract that energy. And then the people that are in your life, when they love, trust me, they will, that energy is contagious. And they'll be like, well, I want to feel that way too. You're having the time of your life over there. What makes you have the time of your life while I'm over here like not? I want to enjoy that too. So, and you're not controlling the person. I'm chuckling. You are right. And I truly do not want to control it. I know that you don't. And I know that you don't. It's like that. But it's like, this is the way that you don't. Otherwise, you would. And I'm not saying that you would, but people again see what they look for. So you would wind up in a relationship with someone that's actually looking for that when you're like, I'm not even doing that. And it's like, and then triggers happen because it's what has happened in the past. And that's why I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't, but listen, you would because that piece of pie is missing. So you would be like, I'm not going to be in a relationship then. And that's still controlling you. And what this is not about controlling, this is about putting that piece of pie in order. Now, would you into your pie, into your life? Now, would you eventually come to the conclusion on your own? Yes, because you would get tired. You would get tired. You would say, okay, I'm like over this person, like it's like I'm not getting what I need and I'm going to move on. But there would still be that thought of, can I still get what I truly want? And Spirit says you can, but you have to become the energy. That's the message. So it's again, will this person change? Like I said, they would evolve, but would you 100% know that you're supposed to be with them? No, because you didn't do what you needed to do. And so again, is there somebody better? It's almost like there's a sense of, is there somebody better? Could I actually have 100% what I want? Even if this person was 99 perfect, you'd still be like, well, is there that 100 person out there? When we are in a place of being happy in our life where we are always evolving, we do shoot for the best. There's no contact. I have done a ton of shadow work on myself. Well, this is the last part. So it's not that you haven't done shadow work. I feel like shadow work is never ending. It's like peeling an onion. You get down to like the next layer, the next layer, the next layer. So this is the next step that Spirit is saying. Because once you do it, this person is going to feel that because there is, again, a connection. They just don't give in. Ego is in the way. And that's what you're like, yeah, immature. It's like, but that's, well, you do what's right for yourself, and that's how you do what's right. It's like you're allowed to, get your passions from other areas of life. That's what, that's a stress reliever, number one, not even for a relationship, not even to meet people, but emotional support is also part of it. If this person was supposed to step it up and they didn't, or there was a part of you that wanted them to step it up and didn't, well, again, you would feel that lack. And so what spirit is saying is your mind can know, but your body, you need to still embody and integrate the spiritual lesson. Do I feel that this person will come back? Yeah, if you do those things. It's like, otherwise there's a sense of, well, I can figure it out, and you'd feel like they took forever to figure it out. Yeah, and that's the thing. Your life is great as it is. It's like it is. Only with this person, it's like they're holding you back, and that's what it feels like. So we always have to say, well, why would I try attract that? And it's just spirit saying it's like because of that reason. And it's like it doesn't mean that there's a problem. Sometimes, like, we create our life, like, again, you created your stability, you created, again, the certain things which actually help structure your life. So it would be normal that this piece would be missing because the other pieces are in place, is what I'm saying. So it shows that you have done work on yourself. The spirit's saying, well, this situation is just playing out so that you see that, is all, not because of an actual problem. Your problem is that this is all that I have right now, and I don't really want to let it go 100% because of that. Even though I know that we're not in contact, but eventually he's going to come back. It's like, well, will he come back? And it's like, yes, he'll eventually come back, but it's like, but then it's still not going to be happy. And so this is the energy. And then spirit saying, well, it's, again, stop looking at this person, do what you need to do for yourself. That gives the person a chance to step it up, to show you, to prove to you, and also a chance for you to meet the person, that somebody else. Because a lot of times you can't train that person, you can't teach a person like how you want to be treated. Other people show them how they should have treated you and how you enjoy to be treated. It's like, and that's called karma. It's like, it's like so that sometimes it's that relationship. But again, I feel like they would try. I just don't think that you would 100% want to be with them. And sometimes that's just because, well, you showed me too much. And so, like, at this point, you don't know yet. And that's what the problem is. It's like I have so many emotions, and spirit says, well, the way to diffuse those is to do what we say. And so that's going to be the biggest issue, because you're like, great, fuck, what do I do to have fun? What am I supposed to do for passion? And spirit says, you see, like, it's like, oh, well, the time, work, this, that, and spirit's like, yeah, that, all that is relevant, but that's something that you need to work through because you want to change your life. And that's the only reason why. So it is going to be a trigger. Like, I don't want to have to do all this. It's like, why can't it just be easy? And the spirit says it can be, but, like, your life will be so much better because you'll really know what you like, what you don't like, to be able to manifest, because you're seeing it. When you're in different situations, you see different things, you manifest different things, and it just brings you into a whole different space. And that's what spirit's saying is, well, part of evolving is that, it says, see the opportunities that you want to experience actually come into fruition. And that's where you're at. And that's what you're like, I don't feel like this person is on the same page. It's like, you've done work, they haven't. It's just that simple. But you don't have to make a big thing and being like, we're on, we're off, whatever. You're going to come back. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to feel, but I'm going to do me. I hope that was helpful. Do you have any other questions or anything? I mean, I didn't ask any questions, but spirit, I always feel like I should ask that, you know, Because maybe there is something else that you want to know. You want to know. The spirit says, don't do my job. Like, if you want to know anything else, if anyone wants to know, well, it's again, it's that you were meant to hear the message. And that's how it works. I want to thank you for also being on my, I believe you're on one of my pages on Facebook. And I say, hey, I'm doing her reading. Like, um, yeah, well, it's again, like I said, you are evolving, and when you really want to know the information, well, again, the universe is always showing you love by bringing you what you need to help support you, to help you see you can actually have what you want. And I think that once you meditate a little bit on what you want to do or where you want to go, it'll get a lot easier, especially when the nicer weather comes. Thanks for supporting the channel, and please do like the video, because everything vanishes once the this video ends. So if you could just leave a positive comment on the video, I'd really appreciate it. It gets people to continue to watch my channel, support the channel. I mean, I try and do my best, in growing it, but my husband's very sick right now. So, I'm learning balance. The universe has brought me a situation to teach me balance, and that's what it's all about. Learning how to look at what's happening and utilize it. Is this person a twin flame? I feel like no, because they're not on the same vibration. I feel like they're a past life karmic mate that can have the potential to step up their game. So they are like a soulmate, but twin flame relationship is when somebody they're ready to do the work. You are already done the work. You've done the work. And so this person hasn't done the work. However, it's not just that, it's that usually you birth something together. You create something together. And that's because they're your polar opposite. So they have gifts where you have wounds where they have gifts. That's why it seems like, oh, this is my other half. There is no other half. It's that this person teaches, and it's a nurturing relationship. That's what spirit's saying. Like, join nature hikes. I feel like you would that would be your thing. You know, Even if it's like, oh, learn about herbs and learn about on nature walks, like rock climbing, like do all of it. So meet and join meetup, join like those type of things. You'll meet other people, and relationships happen over time. you know. Of course, thanks so much for the reading. I'm so sorry your husband is unwell. I will thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will is unwell. Yeah, they're working the healthcare field. My husband's in hospice. So it's like it's crazy. It's like I'm trying to keep my focus busy on something, because as an empath, you know how it is. It's like, so it's a grounding thing. The spirit says, well, you got to master your craft. It's like I usually do readings without cards, but I made cards because I made a shadow healing program, because that's what it's all about. It's all about healing the effects of trauma. So, you know, when you heal your trauma, you find your gifts. You find your path. The path actually unfolds. So it is crazy. I always wanted to be a nurse myself, but math was difficult. you know so I admire what you do, and I'm thankful for what you do. Nurses work hard. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I think that you can, like, that you did help him. You just wanted it to look differently. It's like, and that's the whole thing. Well, you feel his energy because his thoughts and emotion, ESP, transcends all time and space. It's like you can feel that energy. You can feel the energy of someone that loves. that, or that even has loved. I mean, even a person that dies, you can feel their presence a lot of times around you. It's the only thing that transcends time and space. And this is a past life. So, past life karmic relationships again come into life to teach, to heal. For you, I believe it taught you, like, I know what I want. I needed to get clear about what it is that I want. Maybe at one time this was enough, who knows, or maybe, but it's not enough now. Where, thank you, I appreciate that. And where this person needs to say, like, I lost the best thing in my life. I lost the best thing in my life because I wasn't 100% ready. Yeah, but still, like a healthcare, anything in the healthcare department is just, to me, I don't know. I love it. I like taking care of my husband. It's like, but sometimes I even pretend to be a nurse, like, around. It was like, um, like to get into that imaginary role, because we're givers. It's a way that healing is actually a way to heal yourself. And that's what I say. It was like, if that's what you do, I already know you give too much. It's like, because it feels good, but then unconsciously, you will never get what you want. So you have to have those other passions in place. You have to. So you could say, no, not today. I can't get together with you today, Bob, because I'm going to tango lessons. No, it's like, you're not always available. It's again, not always being around makes a person have to think about you. It's how much time, energy, focus, and money a person gives into something is, how invested they are. And you want them to do that without saying, hey, you need to like do this for me. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to say it. You want to be like, you just do it. Right. And that's the thing, because that energy never dies. Never dies. It transcends all time and space. And that's what love is. Never dies. And that's the energy of the universe. That's the energy of God. That's the energy of spirit that's inside of each other. And when you meet a soulmate, when you meet a person like that, that's the energy that they feel. And you're like, wow, this person feels like home. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying, but I know that it's great that you do that, but you have to find other things. Only because it's like you're always giving and doing, and it's a way that you get your healing. There's always a fucking few haters. And that's another reason why you need to have other outlets, because when you meet people outside of your craft, it's like they admire what you do without the jealousy, because they're not in competition with you. You're not in competition with anybody. I get the same shit. I get the same shit. And you know what that says? It says that you do your job damn good. And it's because of how much heart you put into it. So tough shit on them. It's like, keep on shining. Keep on shining. Shine fucking brighter. Like, again, because it's like, no. It's like people get jealous and it triggers them, and then they project their bullshit, but it's because they're not doing what they need to do for themselves. So they put you in in a competition that you don't even want to be in. I want to learn to pole dance, play a guitar. Yeah, like it's like all those things, because at first we'll start with, friendships. It's like who God puts in your path. It's like, and relationships, like you said, happen over time. So you might even be like, well, when I first started taking guitar lessons, I really liked Bob. But then after like the third month, I saw Bob was an asshole. And then I met Ken, and then Ken was, and, but then you meet, and then you make up your own mind, and then you're actually able to see that you have options. You're able to see opportunities. You'd be like, oh, I could see how Ken would ask me like to go there. Why? Because, well, we always play that song every Wednesday. And when you again are doing those things on a regular basis, you will wind up like again becoming that energy again of love. Well, again, you can always feel negative energy, but it's a way to shield yourself when you have other things in life. Because like I said, because then you don't care. Because part of it, Anne, is like being a giver, being a healer, is that you have an open heart and you give. But unfortunately, everything around you, you're also going to feel that shit. We feel bad for assholes sometimes. It's just the way that it is. So what you have to do is not is shield it, and you shield it because of your choice of focus. Like I don't care. It's like, of course, because your job, it means so much to you. So, of course, you would want to get along well with everyone. It's like, but it's again, people don't care. Not everyone looks at their job that way. Not everyone is passionate about their job. To take the time to actually master their job, because God knows it's not just that you walk in and you know how to do everything. It takes time. Mastery comes in doing. Everyone starts as a disaster before they're a master. So it's again, there's a real genuine want and desire that you're being led by your heart. Your heart is open. Those people's hearts are not open. And so it's about you making sure that you create the emotional support that you need and for yourself. Because of that, it's a way to psychically protect yourself, because once you show you don't give a shit, it's funny, those people act differently because it's not fun anymore. It's not, it's like you're not reactive anymore. And that's the way that you diffuse that. You're like, you didn't do it really, like you pay that much attention to me, really? I'm having a love affair with my life over here. I have so many other people and things that are filling me that my cup is overflowing with just passion and fun and excitement, that I feel sorry for you that you're paying so much attention to me. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to watch you be happy. Trust me. They'd be like, fuck that. I want to see you like suffer. I'm not going to sit here and watch you like have a good time. It's like I want to see you, and that's how you again diffuse it. You're like, nope. Like it's like my life is what I choose to make it, and that's because it's the way that you again also integrate that spiritual energy. I just met the ones that want to learn. Right, like, well, it's like I feel like when you have a lot of healer energy, you become the Heoki. You just like again for people to project their shit. And part of it is that spirit says, well, it's so that you become stronger. Because on an emotional level, you didn't have that support. And so there's a sense of, well, I'm weak. And spirit saying, no, you're actually really strong. It's like you're looking at that very wrong. So you have to like step into it because other people would have broken and that you didn't break. And that's, but you need to, again, display the life that reflects that. So then this way, those people are like, well, I'm not going to like mess with you. You're having too much fun. Your life looks good. It's like, and now I have to like look at my life, and my life doesn't look as good as your life. So I need to go and bother someone else that I perceive is doing less better than me, that isn't really as happy. Unless they say, well, you know what, fuck it. If she's actually having a good old time with herself, maybe I could actually have fun with myself. Let me emulate what she is doing so that maybe like it can happen for me too. It can go either way, you know? But this is how you say, I don't really give a shit. I'm like, what you're doing. I'm over here having a good old time with myself. That's what I'm saying. And that's the way that you show it apologetically. Because people tend to think if you don't have those other things that you're not really happy. Like they make it excuses. And like you said, it's all projection, but it's all projection that makes you feel a certain way. And Spirit says, no one should be able to make you feel a certain way, God says. You're perfect. You're me in physical form. Why are these people able to make you feel that way? And it's like, well, that's because that's really happening. And it's because they're really doing it. Spirit's saying it shouldn't matter. We already talked about what you need to do. Once you do that, you completely shape shift your situation because the mindset's already there. You need to put those things in place. Right, and you have, and that's why you need to. You deserve the accolades. You deserve like the fruits to it. And that's when you embody it, you become it, you attract exactly those situations instead of those situations where you're like, why am I still getting this situation? Is all. Like, I don't never believe that there are any mistakes. You found me when you were supposed to find me. It's again, that's how it works. The spiritual energy. That's how the universe says, I know exactly what you need. I'm going to bring you exactly what you need to help you heal, evolve, to become the best version of yourself so that you can attract exactly what you were supposed to attract because you've done the work. That's fine. As long as he stays away from me, I do not feel he feels regret. Well, like I said, like it's the ego. And it's again about like the immatureness. It's I feel like it's a little bit like, well, I feel like you don't have anyone else. So if I hold back and give you the silent treatment, maybe you'll cave. It's like, or maybe you've given in before. Where so it's like again over time, this person is like, well, I don't want to change, but that's their karma when you move on fully. That's why I'm saying, because you might find yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, what you need to do is this person will come back into your life like 6, 7 months later, and you'll still be like, well, not you won't be as angry. The mind works that way. So that's why I'm saying it did still hurt, but well, that's the thing. It's like it's not that you didn't do the work. Like I said, what it's about is now just integrating the rest of it. And that's when you're actually seeing the different outcome. You're actually seeing like you're not logically trying to strategize your life. You're living your bliss. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that that's what these readings are all about. And they're about healing. So they're not really, I mean, they're advisory because like I said, there's many different ways things can play out. But if we're missing a certain element, it's that's where our blind spot is. And that is only because again, that what we're used to. So I'm glad that it worked. I'm glad that it worked out. But I have to go shopping now, so I'm gonna wind down. I'm glad that it was. I'm a Virgo. Didn't actually. Well, I don't feel like you're a giver. I don't feel like you're like again that you chase people. And I don't feel that. But I also feel like if a person doesn't give and then you're like, well, I tell them what to do and then they don't really and then this is not about that. This is about having a love affair with yourself so you can attract somebody that actually, again, it becomes an organic relationship where the person's respecting themselves, so they're going to be able to respect you. You're able to again feel comfortable in it in the relationship. So it's not about you chasing. I don't feel like you chase, but I want you to be open to the opportunity and realize that it's not just about relationship. Because once you get the relationship, you're still going to say this isn't 100% fulfilling me, and that's because there's still a little slice that's just for you. That's how we create balance. That's how we can be like, okay, you're not being the way that I want or doing like respecting me, whatever it is. And it's a way that you diffuse, it's a way that you take your mind off of it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so glad that you again sought this page out. And as I said, if you could just write a positive comment when the video closes, because all these comments are going to vanish as soon as the thing. I'm trying to grow my channel. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting the channel. And thank you for everyone else that supports the channel. And I'll talk to you soon.